In a stunning geopolitical move that has left Europe reeling, U.S. President Donald Trump announced immediate peace negotiations with Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine. This unexpected development, brought to you by In the Know News, signals a major shift in American foreign policy, with Washington effectively stepping back from its commitment to Ukrainian sovereignty. As the world processes this dramatic turn, the implications for global stability remain uncertain. The announcement came after U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth informed NATO allies in Brussels that Ukraine's goal of reclaiming all its lost territory was unrealistic. He argued that prolonging the war would only result in more suffering, and laid out a stark new vision where European nations must assume primary responsibility for their own security. The message was clear: the United States will no longer play its historic role as Europe's primary defense guarantor. Hours later, Trump reinforced this position with a social media post declaring his lengthy and highly productive phone call with Putin. Trump's words left little room for ambiguity. He and Putin had agreed to start negotiations immediately, with Ukraine's leader, Volodymyr Zelensky, seemingly an afterthought. No more lives should be lost, Trump asserted, pressing for a swift resolution. Zelensky, who has long sought unwavering U.S. support, tried to put a positive spin on the situation. In a social media post, he called his conversation with Trump meaningful and emphasized that Ukraine still seeks a lasting, reliable peace. However, European leaders reacted with shock and frustration. Many saw Trump's move as a betrayal, sidelining Ukraine and disregarding Europe's strategic interests. EU officials were initially hesitant to respond, but later European Commission officials and NATO allies made it clear that they expected a central role in any peace talks. Germany, Latvia, and Poland all reaffirmed their stance that Ukraine must be a direct and equal participant in negotiations. No decision on Ukraine without Ukraine, German Foreign Minister Annalena Baerbock declared firmly. Adding to the unease, Trump's team made it clear that NATO would have no formal role in brokering peace and that U.S. troops would not participate in any post-war security arrangements. This marks a major divergence from traditional U.S. policy, where NATO has been instrumental in ensuring European stability. France, in particular, pushed back against the exclusion of NATO, insisting that Ukraine should remain on track to join the alliance. Meanwhile, Poland and Britain signaled that Europe must now take greater responsibility for Ukraine's military support, pledging to step up efforts to bolster Kyiv's defense before any negotiations take place. The American negotiating team, led by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, and National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, is set to begin discussions with their Russian counterparts immediately. While Trump remains optimistic about a swift resolution, many remain skeptical of the terms and whether they will truly serve Ukraine's interests. Oleksandr Mereshko, a senior Ukrainian lawmaker, dismissed Hegseth's remarks as illogical, arguing that with continued military and financial support, Ukraine could still reclaim all its lost territory. As the world watches this high-stakes diplomatic gamble unfold, one thing is clear: the balance of power is shifting. With the U.S. stepping back and Europe scrambling to assert itself, the fate of Ukraine, and perhaps the entire European security landscape, now hangs in the balance. Whether Trump's bold peace initiative will bring a lasting resolution or embolden Russian aggression remains to be seen. Stay tuned to In the Know News for the latest updates on this evolving story.